where the quest to oust Nyeri County Executive Committee member for Water, Environment and Natural Resources, Fred Kinyua, now seems to be taking a new turn, with MCAs supporting his removal, now seeking the intervention of Governor Mutahi Kahiga after their attempt to table an impeachment motion failed. Now, Karatina MCA Watson Weru, who is the sponsor of the bill, still insists that they will not rest until the CEC is shown the door. Let us now link up with our reporter, Ibrahim Karanja, who's now joining us live from Nyeri. Ibrahim Karanja, good morning. An interesting turn of events there. Kindly bring us up to speed.
Well, good morning, Brenda. Indeed, an interesting turn of events. Remember, yesterday we had that coverage where a section of MCAs, especially led by Karatina Ward Member of County Assembly Watson Weru, had that quest to table a motion that will impeach Water, Environment and Natural Resources CEC Fred Kinyua. They say that they went through the due process, that is, in terms of getting the necessary number of signatures. 21 signatures. By law, they were required to get 14 signatures, but they had 7 in excess of signatures from members who were in support of that particular move. And they also went through the preliminary stages before tabling this particular motion. That includes also talking to the clerk of the county assembly and also the legal advisor to help them frame that particular document to be tabled. But later on, they complained that their efforts to table that particular motion were frustrated by the House leadership. They said House leadership without quoting or mentioning who exactly they meant by House leadership, and thus they were not able to table that motion or take it to the Assembly Business Committee. And technically, they couldn't table the motion, and the motion cannot be discussed this week. So yesterday they were crying and saying, or actually expressing their plight and saying that their efforts have been frustrated. And today we understand that the members who are pro the impeachment of the CEC had a meeting with the county governor, and we want to understand perhaps what came out of that particular meeting and whether there is any hope, whether they'll still continue with the quest, or whether, like many people have been saying, they'll drop this particular motion after meeting the governor. We want to understand. And right now I'm joined by Mheshimiwa Watson Weru. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa, for speaking to us live on KTN News. Yesterday you had that complaint that you were not able to table a motion to impeach CEC for Water, Environment and Natural Resources. Today, I understand you met the governor. What was the meeting about?
We booked appointment with the governor after being frustrated yesterday, so that we know on his side whether Mheshimiwa Waziri Kinyua is working or not. He said even himself is frustrated by the same minister, and he agreed with us. There's a lot of garbage in Nyeri. Nyeri is too dirty. And the Kinyua is the person who is in charge of the docket, and they have given mandate to do his work. He has given his budget and everything to work, but he was unable to perform. So we requested the governor that we county assembly, we want to remove of Kinyua, and he agreed with us. He shall be do reshuffle very soon to remove Kinyua from that docket to maybe to another weaker docket. I don't know, it's upon him. But for us, there's no need for him to go another docket. He should be fired and go home, and they bring somebody who is able to work, who is somebody who is willing to do his work. And because Kinyua is just sleeping in the office, and as far as Kinyua is here, Nyeri, we can do nothing.
Disputing these words to the governor, that the governor is saying that he is tired with Waziri. But this is something we'll need to confirm from him, because this is what you are reporting. But the question that we are really interested in is, why would members of the county assembly seek to meet the governor before actually moving with the right process of impeaching the CEC in the assembly? Are you seeking consultation from the governor to impeach a county executive committee member?
No, Mr. Karaja. There's many ways to kill a rat. And if the rat escape one trap, there's another way to do it better. It's our mandate to do the motion of the impeachment and to remove the governor. But there's a force coming outside, which are there, and the money have exchanged in this part. And we cannot stay there, and we know we are representative of Wanjiku. So that is why we want to know whether he is the one who has sent these people to come and defend Kinyua. And the governor said no, he said no, he is not in the part. And the governor is saying they cannot interfere with the the assembly, because assembly is independent and we are independent. That is why we have gone to the governor, the way you can go to the president to know the other side of the story. And because now our speaker is not there, who always prove assembly business committee duty, and he is coming next week. We cannot wait next week and our people dying as we were watching.
Of course, you say you cannot wait. Again, I repeat that those awards you are attributing to the governor, we will need to confirm with the governor. But should the governor not do a reshuffle or say move the CEC, what other course of action do you expect from the county assembly, especially your committee and you, given that you're the one who's particularly sponsoring this motion?
There's no shortcut. Kinyua must go. Because he is not a performer. We have given two years, nothing he can deliver to Nyeri. We, as the committee, we cannot allow him to stay into our docket. He must go. There's no shortcut. Kinyua must leave the office as the Minister of the Water and the Environment.
Thank you. Let me bring in Mheshimiwa Karumba. Mheshimiwa, we spoke yesterday, and you were very passionate about the reasons that you are advancing to impeach the CEC. Today you have met the governor. I have spoken to Mheshimiwa Weru. And the question I've asked him is the same question I would ask you. Are you trying to show that as members you really need consultation or to consult the county executive before doing your mandate by law, say impeaching a CEC? Why was the meeting with the governor necessary?
The meeting with the governor was as a second option. After us as an assembly exhausting the avenues provided for us legally, that is to oversight, and in the eventuality that we find that there is an irregularity, we take action, and those actions are stipulated in the law. And one of them is that if you have enough grounds that a person is incompetent, that upon such grounds you can impeach such a character. And so yesterday, having of course collected and documented all the reasons that indicates clearly the incompetence of the said CEC, that's the CEC Water and Sanitation, Fred Kinyua. It was frustrated because somebody in the assembly, part of the leadership, refused to assent to it so that it can go to the assembly business committee, which clears a motion to be, of course, forwarded on the floor of the House for discussions. So when we got that frustration, and because we are so passionate because of the suffering our people are receiving on the ground here, matters regarding scarcity or lack of water, even for domestic use, like our people in Kenyatta, they have always been crying, and that CEC have never even made a point of joining me, irrespective of the various attempts that I have placed with him, so we can go to the site, because he is in charge of the department, and the department is the implementing agency. Mine is to representation and oversight. And so he has turned to be adamant all through. And because of such reasons and so many others, inclusive of the garbage menace, which have, of course, become an eyesore in Nyeri County, we decided that we've got to impeach him. So after the frustrations, then we decided we are going not to put our feet off the pedal. And so today we decided to press further and have a meeting with the person who is the appointing authority, and that's His Excellency the Governor. Of
course, there are things that Mheshimiwa Weru is attributing to the governor having said, including that the governor has promised to have a reshuffle of the cabinet. This is something we cannot confirm because we have not heard from the governor himself. But do you think that that would really help if there happens to be a reshuffle? Right now, those are speculations. We cannot confirm. But if a reshuffle happens, move a certain waziri from one docket to the other, do you think that would really help?
That will be a stopgap measure, according to what we've agreed, in the eventuality that he undertakes such an action. It will just be a stopgap measure for now, but long-term solutions will still be explored. That's what we have agreed with him. And so we have served him with a well-documented copy of all the various, not allegations, but all the various reasons that have convinced us beyond any reasonable doubt that the said CEC is incompetent. And so upon perusal of that, he has promised in a short while, maybe in around the evening hours, because he is rushing for a meeting, and so he will require some time also to peruse through. he will be able to give us a very concrete response and a conclusive one for that matter. But we are very optimistic because along the course of our discussion with him, he is also an eyewitness to some of these kind of menace that we are talking about.
Thank you. Let me bring in Mheshimiwa Muturi. Mheshimiwa Muturi, and very briefly, I want to ask you, because this is a question that has been brought out before, and today's turn of events would actually say, prove it. Is the county executive of Nyeri controlling the county assembly?
I would like to tell you 100% sure, no. Because the county assembly of Nyeri is independent and we do our work, and our main mandate is to represent, registrate and also follow up the project that have been budgeted in our budget. And I would like to assure you that the county assembly of Nyeri is independent, and that is why I've given you the scenario of what happened yesterday, that we saw members had signed, more than 25 members. They were tried to be bribed by money and they refused. So when some of the members realized that if this motion would go to the assembly, automatically it will pass, they tried to fight the motion from top, not from down. Because
Mheshimiwa, last question before we take a break. Allegations that money could have exchanged hands. Do not mention who, but there are those allegations which you made yesterday, which are very serious allegations in the county assembly of Nyeri. Perhaps are they substantiated?
What I would like to assure you, and I would like to tell you this, and I would like to say this on bold daylight, is that money exchange hands, but I have told you clearly that the county assembly of Nyeri stood very carefully and stood with one voice, and they refused to be bribed with money. But some of the members in the top high leadership tried to squeeze members, but when they saw members will not agree to take money, what they decided to do, they tried to fight the motion from above. But I wanted to assure you that the assembly refused to take money, although the culprit, the person in charge who was being impeached, was the one who tried to bring money in the house.
Those are allegations you're making, of course, not able to substantiate, but this is what is happening at the County Assembly of Nyeri. It is important that I also mention that yesterday I spoke on phone with the CEC in question, that is Water, Environment and Natural Resources, CEC Fred Kinyua, who said, and I quote, that he is not aware that he's being discussed on the table of the House, and he is not aware that there is a motion to impeach him. Now, this turns out, even as the MCAs this morning met Nyeri County Governor, the Honorable Mutahi Kahiga, to just bring out their issues. So, of course, this is something we want to delve deeper into. We do not want to stop it at what the MCAs are saying. We want to speak to the governor and find out whether the words that the MCAs are actually attributing to him are true, whether he has met the MCAs and whether he has made that commitment of doing a cabinet reshuffle in Nyeri. And if at all that happens, of course, our viewer, we will update you on everything that happens. But as of now, we want to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we have more news for you.